It is official. Dana White has officially announced the launch of his boxing promotion. He will partner with Turki Al-Sheikh, Al-Sheikh, I don't know, no, Al-Sheikh. Dana White and Nick Khan will lead. All boxers will have access to the UFC Performance Institute. TKO will produce the shows with state-of-the-art broadcast and production. Dana White has entered boxing. Now, I brought this up a while ago because he did mention a while ago that he was going to get into boxing. He says, we're doing it. I didn't know if he was going to be like, a De La Hoya or, one of those guys who's just a promoter or what. I didn't know if it was going to be, a whole nother promotion, if he's partnering with like, Top Rank or PBC or one of these guys. But no, his own promotion. From what we know, I think it's called TKO Boxing, which is a little cheesy, but they said the same thing about Ultimate Fighting Championship. And now UFC is like household name.
To provide some context here.
Is this good for boxing?
Wait. To provide some context on TKO. TKO is a corporation. They're owned by, they are co-owned by Turkey, the WWE, as well as the UFC. So you have
as well, right?
Dana White, Nick Khan, and everybody involved in that. So, this just feels like the next step in the boxing combat sports conglomerate that TKO is trying to be.
The funny thing about it is, and to go off what you just said, as well as the question, is this good for boxing? Is that we've been waiting a long time for combat sports to like kind of come full circle and come back to its roots of just being good combat, right? Seeing the fights that we want to see and all that type of stuff. Now, though I am somewhat excited about this because I've been saying a long time that Dana White and the UFC need to expand their horizons, and I'm not even just talking about boxing, which is fine with me. I believe that they should expand into, because they already did for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is cool. Now we got boxing. I also think, Muay Thai and kickboxing should be a thing. Like, the formula of one championship to me is really good because it gives you multiple things to work with. You have multiple people within combat sports that I've got options. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm not into just punching. Maybe I'm not into just kicking. Maybe I'm not into punching and kicking at all. I want to watch grappling. Maybe I'm into a certain type of punching and kicking. Like, that's the world we live in. So I am excited about this. I do think it should be a good thing for boxing because I think we're going to get the fights that we want, depending on who joins the organization. Like, I don't know if we're going to get a Bud Crawford, a Tank Davis, a Ryan Garcia, and, Lomachenko's and things like that. I don't think we're going to necessarily get them into TKO boxing, which would be cool because now they can't run and hide. It's like, nah, you're fighting homie. That's it. It's interesting. Like, I don't know exactly what Dana White has in mind. I don't know if it's going to be like his own type of rule. Like, I don't know. It's exciting though. It is exciting because now it gives a lot of those UFC guys who want to transition into boxing an opportunity to transition into it. But at the same time, and this is where I'm skeptical about it. I like it, but this is where I'm skeptical. Is he going to pay these guys? Yes, you got Turkey, who got all the money in the world. But are they going to be paying these guys the same amount of money that these guys get in like Top Rank and PBC and all that type of stuff? That's the question. Because what I think they said Canelo's last. Well, how much did Canelo make his last fight? I think it was like maybe 30, 40. I don't know. Like, point being is these guys in MMA don't be touching, millions of dollars per fight, depending on who you are, unless you're a Conor McGregor or a John Jones right now. John Jones gets paid a good amount of money. If you're not a champion, most times you're not seeing like a lot of money. This is why a lot of these guys in MMA get super hyped for those fight of the night bonuses and performance bonuses because, let's just say my contract is for $250,000. That's only that $250,000 is not what I'm making per fight. I might be making that like for my entire contract. So I might be making $250,000 in 2 years. That ain't a lot of money, especially when you got to sit there and pay your coaches. You got to pay for equipment, nutrition. It's a lot. And so I'm hoping that when they make this, when they start this promotion and things get going, that they pay these guys. Like, I'm hoping that they really do pay these guys because, some of these guys still have a little bit of a career. Like some of these guys, all right, for example, they can move around, they can box, they can move, but they can't kick because they got a tweak in their knee or something like that. So they can move around, they got good footwork and all that, but they can't handle kicks no more. These are things that happen within, the MMA world. I feel like in the MMA world, you get like more bodily damage than you do like head trauma. Like I think I said this on another episode. I might have forgot, but all I know is that they said when people are boxing and wearing the boxing gloves, they throw their punches with more velocity because in their brain, it's telling them that their knuckles are protected. So there's less of a chance that I'm going to hurt my hand if I have those boxing gloves on. But when you have things like MMA gloves and bare knuckle, your body naturally tries to find a way to protect your knuckles. So you're not going to punch straight down the middle. You might end up punching with the side of the hand or like the latter two knuckles. There's a lot more head trauma in like boxing than there is like MMA. So I feel like it'll give a lot of fighters in the MMA world an opportunity to transition into boxing, hopefully make more money, and continue a career where they can continue to make the money. So yes, I think it's good. But I still have to walk on eggshells with this one because if they paid him like they're paying the guys now, I don't know. So that is my take on Dana White and Turkey going into boxing. I say just pay him.
Hey, man.
Pay him. As long as you pay him, I'm for it.
You asking Dana to pay people is hilarious.
I'm just saying. Like boxing's supposed to be the cash cow, right?
Yes, it is.
Pay him.
It is. All right.
You got Turkey.
So a couple.
This man is worth more than a couple $1 billion. Like, come on.
All right. So a couple things here, just to provide you with some context. One, Dana does not want UFC fighters boxing. He doesn't. He's already said it. He's not happy about it. He doesn't want it. This is going to be something completely different. And I think, honestly, like evil genius Dana brain thinking, I would be on the same thing because then why would you leave UFC for more money? That means that he's definitely probably going to pay the boxers more. I think that this opens up conversation that I think this. See, here's the thing, right? Like, and I'm into the fact that combat sports are evolving, expanding and whatnot, but I think it is going to open up some very uncomfortable conversations. I think that Dana specifically is okay with having these conversations because Dana specifically is okay with a lot of fuck shit. But I will say this, man, the idea I love. I love the idea of it. It's kind of like taking mixed martial arts and decompartmentalizing them again. So that's cool.
Okay.
I think that's cool because even when you say like Muay Thai and these things, like it allows kind of like the specific martial art to get like the love and whatnot. So I'm into like decompartmentalizing that because I think that they have the platform and people are into combat sports like that. Like I think of Power Slap as a good example, right? Like I never thought that slap boxing.
I never thought I would like that joint.
I never thought that slap boxing is some shit we did as
school,
kids and shit, right? Like, and they've monetized it. So like Dana is capable of doing this. So I'm not even worried about the money making aspect of it. I think like Eddie Hearn should be concerned a little bit. I think
they're gonna make the money.
No,
but I'm talking about the fighters.
He's not concerned at all. And I think that and Ariel Helwani said this. He was like, this is a very monopoly based. Like it has the potential to be very monopoly.
You're naming Dana White's mortal enemy.
No,
like,
but it's
he
true.
thinks that way.
No, I'm saying like he said that in a good way though. Like at least that's how I took it. It's like, bro, if we want to get the fights we want to see, right? We get the fights we want to see. If anything, Dana White is a motherfucker that's gonna make the fight you want to see.
100%.
We're gonna talk about this in the next block, but he's never anti big fight because and I blame boxing for that a little bit in a sense. Like they kind of made him this way, right? They kind of like the
kind of.
I mean,
they made him this way.
No, they absolutely made him. All right, thank you. They
made him this way.
They absolutely made him this way, right? By politics and too
much ducking.
Will he or won't he? A lot of ducking and stuff. And Dana kind of took that whole anti-ducking model and built up the UFC, and that's why it's so popular today. So for me to think that TKO is not going to do the exact same thing, and to a certain extent, like. You got to think of the people like WWE is on there. That's sports entertainment. WWE ain't in nothing not to make money. They ain't in nothing not to make money. See, like Turki, this feels like a passion project for him, right? Like this feels like something that he loves boxing. He has a shit ton of money.
Yeah,
he'll invest in this. Dana is more like a middle ground. Like he's into the money aspect of it, but he's into the fight. You want to see, and he kind of understands that those two go hand in hand. Nick Khan in the WWE, like Paul Hunter Herbs Hemsley, Paul, them niggas is in it for the coin and the coin only.
Easy.
Let's be clear, them niggas is not doing nothing if it's not lucrative. So that I think that the combination of those three people as the head is like a match made in heaven, and it's something that like Top Rank and a lot of these other boxing promotions like they're gonna run into a problem. Like, so I don't know if like, is this good for boxing? My answer is yes. Obviously, I don't think it's good for the current state of boxing, but I also think that that's a good thing in itself. Like, why are we waiting for Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Davis fight? And until they get out of their primes, they did the same thing with Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. They're gonna do it again. We're gonna wait 3 fights because we gotta build it up. Dana White throws.
We've been building that up for like 5 years.
Hey, Dana White does 6 elite fights a year, minimum. Minimum.
He's either gonna give you a fire undercard, or he's gonna give you the craziest main event.
Side minimum. So, hey, dog. I heard Eddie Hearn talking and shit like that, and I was like, hey man, you sound confident. I'm not as confident for you. Ariel Helwani is also not as confident for you. So, hey.
Dana White is the type that when he gets into something, he is in it. People told him that power slap wasn't gonna work.
It works. It works.
As much as I'm like,
it works.
Power slap, that joint is working.
It works.
People are watching that joint.
It works. I don't watch it as often as I do, but if it's on the telly, if it's on the YouTube, and I'm scrolling on YouTube, you know,
I'm just gonna watch it.
It might as well throw it on.
Especially if I'm just gonna see straight to the slaps.
Yeah, like we're not wasting no time. Niggas is slapping each other. So yeah.
Oh snap! He slapped the hell out of me.
So yeah, I'm not gonna say that it's a bad thing, man. I just think, and I agree with you. Anything Dana's involved with, he's not like pro fighter money at all, and that bothers me. Because what's the give, right? What's the give? Are we getting more fights and paying boxers $2 million a bout? Like, is that how we do it?
And who are these fighters coming from?
Yeah,
are these up and coming fighters? Are we taking fighters from other promotions? Like, what are we doing?
I mean, I would say this. They would obviously. I heard that the first fight is in September. They're gonna have to come big with that. I would. Yeah. I think that's interesting.
But you're not gonna give us a bunch of newbies and expect us,
dog,
to be like, oh, this was great.
You're gonna go up in September against Bud Canelo. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But hey, dog, if this is gonna go by the UFC model, and I don't know if it is, but if it is, and it's like, yo, we're pumping out TKO fight nights and TKO 3 and 4, twice a month or once a month, this, that, and the third, then hey, that might be some evil genius shit that Dana got cooking up. So I'm gonna let Dana cook. I don't know.
This is Dana Luthor.
Yeah, you already know how I feel about Dana.
Lex White.
Dana Luthor.